Hello, people. It's Catherine. Hi. It's Sunday, and it's a beautiful, beautiful, glorious day here in Tahoe. And I just couldn't do this call from my desk in my office, although it's nice when the windows are open up there, but I needed to be outside. And I just planted, I don't know if you can see them back there, but my nice little pots, little geraniums, because the weather has finally broke. And it is finally nice out enough that I can pot some things and they won't freeze at night. So there you go. But hopefully we'll get a couple of people joining here live. That would be nice. Hi, Tanya. It's really important to talk about this right now because I haven't decided if I'm doing this talk in lieu of my weekly energy check-in. Probably not. I'll probably do my weekly energy check-in later tonight. But hi, gorgeous. But this talk today has a lot to do with the energies right now, because maybe some of you are noticing that when we're not being very good custodians of our thoughts, and we're thinking negative things, and we're feeling not so good, empowering, or self-affirming feelings, we tend to manifest people, situations, experiences, events that go right along with that energy. Yes, is anyone feeling me on that? Give me a heart if that is the case. So, you know, the other side of that is to get really, really present with what we're thinking, with what we're feeling, so that we can use these accelerated manifesting energies that are present as part of the energies that are hitting the field of this planet right now. There's a lot of energy that is coming in, and it's really because of we're getting an upshot to the energies that, let's just call them the sacred elements: earth, air, fire, and water. Hi, Christine. Hi, Melissa. Hello, ladies. Thanks for being here. There's an upshot in the energies of the sacred elements here on Mama Earth, because we are having a lot of geomagnetic energy that is quite amplified. It's very magnified. Some of you can feel it. Some of you have felt really dense or heavy in your body. Some of you have had headaches. Some of you are finding, not even maybe headaches, but just pressure around the temple areas, pressure in your joints. Your back is hurting maybe more than usual. This upshot in geomagnetic energy is affecting the body kind of adversely, but at the same time, when we have an upshot in geomagnetic energy, what's happening is that our grounding energies get amplified, which means when we are more grounded, we are able to manifest quicker, because we have such a strong tie to our 3D experience here on planet Earth. So anything that we want to manifest in the physical, meaning in 3D, it has to come to our bodies. It doesn't come to our spirit. Anything we manifest, it doesn't come to our spirit. Our spirit allows us to, or I should say the divine intelligence within allows us to be a better channel for these things. But your spirit, the infinite part of you, has no need for a new car. The infinite part of you has no need for more money. The physical you needs these things. So with this upshot in geomagnetic energy, it is making the sacred elements of earth, air, fire, and water that much more potent. So we're feeling the energy of things getting manifested much more quickly. So this is an excellent time right now to talk about, well, how do you get your mojo fixed around manifesting so that you're manifesting the things that you do want? Okay. Hi, Tara. Hi, Teresa. Thanks for being here, ladies. And what is that element that's missing? For a lot of you, and this is what I've heard from many of you who have reached out to me, who respond to my emails or reach out to me. Some of you are in my group classes, etc. And they're like, I'm doing all the things, and I just cannot manifest. And you were probably good at it before. Yes? Maybe some of you are noticing here that are watching that it seemed like you were pretty good at manifesting things that you wanted before, and they tended to flow into your life with a lot more ease. And now it just feels like there's tons of resistance. But when we really think about it, and we're trying to kind of troubleshoot what's going wrong with our manifesting, a lot of us naturally want to look for, okay, well, What resistance am I holding on to? Am I holding on to an old belief? Maybe it's mine, maybe it's part of my ancestral legacy, something that is in opposition to that which I'm calling in, yes? So we search and we search, but still we can't find. And it just feels like we're always manifesting, never receiving. Okay, who's there with me? Give me a heart or a like or something, or throw in a comment there and let me know that some of you are feeling me here, or all of you are feeling me. And it's frustrating, isn't it? Because we think, you know, we kind of get the hang of this manifesting thing at this point, right? That, okay, well, if this isn't coming to me easily or in the way that I desire it to, I'm open to it coming another way. But even that's not working, right? Even those things that we're like, and it's not like we're settling, it's not like we're compromising, but we're kind of realizing that we're attaching ourselves to the outcome and how much that energetically shoots us in the foot when we do that. If we think what we're manifesting has to look a certain way, that's when we're attached to the outcome, and that is resistance. That's when you're not surrendering to the universe to do its part, to deliver what you're asking for. So maybe some of us are doing that. But even though when we pull back from that and are like, okay, I'm going to surrender the outcome, it doesn't have to look like this, I'll know the feeling of what I want when it shows up, right? Okay. So a lot of us are really ahead of the curve on this whole manifesting thing. We get it. So why isn't it still happening? Or why isn't it happening? What is there? What's going on? Well, I'll tell you what, it's not resistance. It's not resistance. When you think about calling forth what it is that you would like, doesn't matter what it is, a soulmate, a new job, a new car, some more money, money to pay the rent, you know, a new crystal. It doesn't matter what it is. You've set your desire forth. You've launched, as Abraham Hicks calls it, the rocket of desire. And you've put your unique energetic imprint. Anytime we cast a desire into the universe and say, universe, I would be filled with gratitude if this would show up, or I would love it, universe, if this comes in for me, right? We launch that rocket of desire. And anytime we do that, in fact, right when we do that, we are casting forth a broadcast of our unique energetic signature to the universe and says, okay, that's lined up, that's going to Catherine. That's lined up, it's going to Tara. That's lined up, it's going to Teresa. And the longer you hold that signature of that desire where it feels good and you can feel all the feels of this thing coming in, the benefits that's going to bring, the results that you're going to have by having this thing come into your life, whatever it is, and you're in that feeling and you're holding that signature and you let it expand and expand and expand until it becomes such a large vibration that it is not just your energetic frequency anymore, it's like your energetic frequency on crack. It's your energetic frequency like times 100,000, okay? The longer we hold on to the desire and the feeling of being in the moment as if this thing is showing up right now, the quicker our manifestation process can be. But here's the rub. We can't let it stop there anymore, okay? Because as, like I said at the beginning of this call, as the geomagnetic frequencies get more intense here on Mother Earth, that means the density of our experience, of our everyday experience that we're living right here, right now, casts an even stronger signature. So think about that for a second. All the ways you think about your life the way it is right now, all the ways you feel about your life the way it is right now, all the ways that you're behaving to kind of validate the thoughts and the feelings and the beliefs you have about your life that you're living right now, it's all getting stronger too. So what you are imagining, what you are desiring, what you are calling forth, has to be a greater, more expanded, fuller, more whole signature than the energy frequency that you're putting out right now in your everyday life. Does that make sense to you guys? I can explain it a little bit more, and in fact I will. So your experience, living your life every single day, is a practice, wouldn't you say? Because you've been doing it for a while, you've been at it for a while, you've been at this whole life thing for a while. At least you're 3, 4, maybe 5 decades in. So the life that you've been living is very well practiced. It's very well rehearsed. In fact, it is memorized. It is memorized on a cellular level who you are. It is such a grand part of your identity. In fact, it is your whole identity. So when you're calling forth something that you do not yet have, what you're calling forth, in essence, is a different way of being. In fact, a way of being that aligns with the frequency of what it is that you're calling in. Okay? Otherwise, you would have this thing already. It's kind of simple. So your energy frequency that you have to be casting forth, you can't just go into just 5 minutes of mental visualization anymore and imagine yourself having this thing, and let's just say it's a new car. This is a great example. You want to call forth a new car. You want something that's safe for you, reliable, a good price, but it looks good, it smells good, it has that new car smell. Something you'll get compliments on, something that maybe, let's just say, kind of validates your personality, is kind of an extension of your personality. And so you've cast forth this desire, and you imagine yourself, let's just say, sitting in it. You can imagine yourself, say, cleaning up the dashboard when it gets a little dusty outside. It's summertime, there's a lot of summer dust. You can, on the hot days, imagine yourself turning on the AC. Like, if you really imagine yourself in the moment, hey Raquel, of having this thing, this new car, and imagine all the things that go along with that. And the longer you hold on to this vibration, this vision, this visualization, and all the feels, because it's all about the feels. That's how the universe understands your broadcast, your frequency. It's through the feels. It's not through what you see. It's not through what you imagine. It's how you feel when you are imagining it. That's the signature that you're broadcasting. So unless this feeling is so strong, this energetic signature of you desiring this thing, having this thing, living as if you have this thing right now, unless it is casting forth a signal that is a more profound and intense signature than the one you have in your everyday life where you don't have the thing, your manifesting process is going to be that much longer. Hi, Jane. Does this make sense? Give me a heart or an emoji or something if you guys are following me so far, because I'm gonna expand on this a little bit further, and I'm gonna tell you how to do this, how to tweak your manifesting. Okay, Jane's got a heart for me. Thank you. So you need to, whatever you're asking for, I don't care if it's a new pencil, I don't care if it's a new car, if it's a soulmate, if it's something that you don't have in your life yet and you've never had it, you're not casting forth and you have not been broadcasting a signal or a frequency that aligns with this thing that you're asking for. And in fact, the person that you have been, hi Dora, thanks for being here. The person that you have been, because of the intense frequencies flooding the planet, flooding our awareness, giving an upshot to the geomagnetic frequencies here on this planet, everything is becoming more dense. We as humans, in our ascension process, are on a quest to become more crystalline in structure, more lighter in structure. However, the Earth is still getting these geomagnetic frequency kind of booster shots that are making everything here down on planet Earth even more intense, even more of a dense reality. So that means our everyday life is getting that much more dense. And the more practiced we are at living this everyday life and not living the life that is our, the life of our dreams, where we're having a thing that we want, you're casting a stronger signal that's saying, but I'm still this person. And the universe is saying, yes, you are, because that's the stronger frequency. So the universe will always deliver whatever is the stronger frequency that you are broadcasting. So how do you tweak that? If you're calling in the thing in your life that you've never had, okay, it's because, why? You haven't been broadcasting that signal. You haven't been sending forth that frequency, that vibration that is a perfect match for the thing. So in order to overwrite the signal, the broadcast that you are broadcasting from being the everyday, very practiced, memorized identity of Catherine, of Tara, of Dora, you need to make that vision of you that much broader, that much bigger, that much more of an immovable force, okay? What if you're an Aquarius that struggles with emotions? Well, darling, I am a cusp case. I am a Capricorn right on the cusp of Aquarius. I'm January 19th. And so I get it. I get it. There's a lot of things that for a long time I was pretty out of touch with my divine feminine because emoting wasn't my thing. Because I always thought of it as a sign of weakness. Okay? So I had to get well practiced at feeling my emotions. And that's not something somebody can teach you. I'm sorry. You have to just get really present. You have to get really aware. And you have to call BS on wherever you're saying it's not right for me to emote. It's not right for me to share this. It's not right for me to cry. It's not right for me to be angry. Right? We need to call, as women, we need to call BS on all of that. Because we as women do emote a little bit stronger than most men do. We feel all the feels on the emotional spectrum and a lot more intensely than men do. I don't know why this is. It just is. It just is. Women are oracles in that way, if you don't understand what I'm saying. I'm a Cancer, Tara. I feel you, pun intended. So you have to get more practiced at paying attention to your emotions when you're having them. And it always goes back to this one thing. Getting present. Getting aware. So that's how you begin to make this signal that you want to broadcast that calls forth the thing that you want. That's how you make it that much broader. That's how you broadcast a stronger signal that is overriding the well-practiced, well-memorized version of you that you've always been. So that means you have to spend not necessarily longer in a meditative process where you are creatively visualizing or mentally rehearsing, right? We talk about this, Tara, in Become the Creatrix, where we are mentally rehearsing the ideal of who we desire to be. It's not just about spending a longer amount of time doing that. It's about broadening out what this vision is and how that feels. So the example I used with the car, you want a car. And you're really good at visualizing the kind of car you want, what color it is, how much it's going to cost. Maybe you even picture yourself in the sales lot talking to the salesman, having a great old time, making jokes and whatever. And you've brought a friend along who's going to help you look at the car. And you maybe even see yourself looking over the contract. Maybe you even see yourself sitting at the computer and looking at a bunch of cars online, used cars that you'd like to purchase. When you are visualizing this thing that you want, and I hope that you are visualizing when you're doing manifesting, because this really ramps up your manifestation process times 100, okay? Because the more you visualize, the more you feel. The more thoughts that you have around this thing that you want and how you can think about your life having it, the feelings follow right on the heels of that. So what you do, it's not like you spend longer in the visualization process. You broaden it out. You make it bigger. You think of all the different things that you do with the car. You think of the road trip that you're going to take. You think of yourself putting gas in it. I mean, think of all the things. And I want you to think about it this way. When you are in your everyday life, okay, let's just say you have a situation that you are dreading. Maybe it's a day where you just don't want to get up and go to work because you have to work with that one girl who's the next cubicle over, and she talks with her mouth full, and she's obnoxious, and she gossips and talk smack about other people in the office, and she's just not a nice person. You really don't like to be around her, but she's part of the team that you're working with today to get this project done, and it's crunch time. You got to get this project nailed this week. It's got to get done. And so you've got nothing but anxiety and panic and maybe even dread about this situation. So when you're in that moment and you're thinking about that kind of stuff, aren't you thinking about all the things? You're thinking about how she chews with her mouth wide open. You're thinking about, how when she goes into the break room, she always spills coffee on the counter. Or, that one celebrity that she loves to gossip about and you don't even know who that is. Like, you think of all the things, right? And it subsequently amplifies that sense of dread you feel, and it makes it really real. Like you're in the moment. Like she could be sitting across from you right now. This is the kind of energy, not the negative energy, however, but this is the energy you want to bring to your manifesting process, where you make it so real, you make the picture of it, the experience of it so broad that your body can't help but connect with the feelings. Okay? Your body can't help but respond in such a way that it's happening right now. Because in the brain, it makes no differentiation between hey, she's imagining this, or this is really happening. If the feelings are there, the body says, this is happening. This is now. This is present. And so you have to get really present. You have to. There's no way that you can put your energy in the future and give yourself over completely to this level of imagining and literally creating a map of your future without being in the present moment, completely and utterly. You cannot have your attention on doing the dishes. You can't have your attention on, I got to go pick up the kids. You can't have your attention on, oh, I got to do this now because later on I'm going to do this and my husband's going to be home soon. No, because you are siphoning off your energy to something else that's part of your present life, your everyday life that's well practiced, well memorized, and it's siphoning off that energy that you're using to visualize and map out your future. You cannot be in two places at the same time. The stronger energetic signature is always going to win out. So if you're very well practiced at being the you that you are in your everyday life, and you can't extricate yourself from that, you can't cut yourself off from that energy, and you can. But if you find that you're having trouble doing that and you're trying to be in two places at once, it's never going to work. Or your manifesting process is going to take forever. Okay, do you guys understand what I'm saying? I'm going to read the comments here. Yes, self-awareness. Tara says I'm so much better because things are shifting rapidly for me, but it's still a struggle. And it's going to be a struggle. And the reasons that I said, and if you guys didn't watch the beginning, if you guys are coming on later and you didn't catch the beginning of this call, I talk about why it is so intense for us right now with this upshot in geomagnetic energies to the earth. It is making our dense human experience, the one that's very well practiced, the life that we live every day, that much more dense and that much more real, quote unquote. And we have a harder time extricating ourselves from that. Thusly, we have a harder time creating our desired future, okay? But all it takes is more discipline. It takes more discipline. So it's kind of like, and there's my doggy. It's a great example. You must have known I was going to talk about him. It's like training a dog, training yourself to sit down and be disciplined and to do this work. Because you are a brilliant creator, but we're also brilliant at getting distracted. It's not hard to do in the world that we live in. We have a million different things pulling our energy in a million different directions, yes? So it takes discipline to sit ourselves down, and it really is like talking to a dog. Like, you're going to sit down here, you're going to do this. You're going to not listen to anything. You're going to not think about anything that you have to do before. You're not going to think about anything that you had to do or didn't do before this or after this. You're not going to smell anything. You're not going to keep thinking about your past. You're going to focus with the utmost clarity on what you are creating. And when you are really disciplined and focused, you can manifest very, very quickly. Problem is, we go into this place and we think about what we want, and we're getting to the feels and imagining what we are desiring as if it's coming into our reality right now, and then we hear something. It could be the dog barking outside, and then you think about, oh, it's that crappy neighbor out there putting on his radio again and washing his car and blasting classic rock music. And then immediately you go into being you, the you that you've always been. And all it takes is that moment of distraction for you to become undisciplined. So it takes practice to do this. But when you get good at this, when you get good at disciplining yourself to sit yourself down and create, you will find that you are the most brilliant creator. And what's also stopping us from manifesting like a mofo is we're not clear. We're not clear on what we want. In order for you to be really present and disciplined and to do this practice of creatively visualizing so that you feel everything as if it's happening right now, you've got to get really clear about what you want. And it is a little bit tricky because we do need to detach ourselves from the outcome of what it's going to look like. But that's when we always have to go back to the feeling. We always go back to the feeling, okay? You might want this new car, and let's just say it's, I really want a Toyota Tacoma pickup truck. I love Toyota Tacomas. It's the perfect Tahoe car. Everyone really has one here in Tahoe. It's like the signature car of Tahoe. But what I really want is something that's higher off the ground, because I'm 5'4". I like to be in a big truck. What can I say? I want something that has decent gas mileage. I want something I can put my dog in the back of, so that when I take him swimming and he goes in the lake and he's all gross and wet, I can put him in the back of the pickup truck. I want it to be reliable in the winter. I want it to have 4-wheel drive. So I'm clear about all those things. But how that car shows up, it could be a used car. It could be a really good used car. It could be a new car. That's incidental. If all the other things are in place that are really necessary, that are really truly desired because it's safe and reliable, and etc., then that's all that really matters. And so that's kind of what allows you to detach from the outcome, if that makes sense, okay? But a lot of us, and ladies, I'm talking to you, we're not really clear on what we want because we're afraid to ask for it. We're afraid to voice it. We're afraid to be really clear about what we want because we feel like, well, what if I don't get it? What if what I want gets rejected? What if what I want never shows up? What if what I want, shows up and I get it and I screw it up? Right? We have a million excuses for why we can't be clear on voicing, on visualizing, on asking for what we want. But your desire is everything. Your desire is what allows you to be a brilliant creator. You can't be a brilliant creator without something you desire first. It's part of the program, right? It doesn't matter what it is. And so play with this energy. Start small. Or go big. Do whatever you want. But start small and just play with this energy. Manifest something that just feels like, aligned for you. Maybe it could be like just a surprise check in the mail. Or, I don't know, something at the grocery store at a department store, a piece of furniture that you want that's on sale and it's the perfect addition to your house or something like that. But you can start small and play with this. It could be a flower. Like I was looking for fuchsias today, and you can't really find fuchsias up here because a lot of people don't plant them because it's not really high Sierra. It's not a high Sierra plant necessarily. But I've been saying all week, like, I'm going to find some fuchsias. I'm going to find some fuchsias. And I did. I found 2 fuchsias today. Because I just knew, like, what it was going to look like for me to plant them, to water them, to put them out in the front where I don't have a lot of sun. And it's a perfect shade plant. And if I water it enough, they'll really thrive. And I have my special fuchsia food that I give it. And I really imagined all the scenarios of me having the fuchsia. And it felt good. And I was like, oh, to have my hands in the dirt and planting it and all of that stuff and the way the dirt smells when you're planting plants and all that stuff. Like, make it so real what you want. Make it broad. Make it big. Make it so big that you forget that you don't have the thing yet. That's what I'm talking about here. That's the way we manifest now. It's got to be big. It's got to be bold. And you have to be clear. You have to be really, really clear. In order to bring that much detail to something, you have to be, it can't just be bold strokes and outlines. It's got to be like you filling in the blanks of all the things. But it's about the feeling. Let go of how it should look. Get into the feeling. So true in these situations. I just smile a little smile and go into gratitude. I got my bicycle yesterday that I've been manifesting. Awesome, Tara. I'm going to ride my bike right after this. It makes it extra fun when you have to clear the negative emotions. It is for me. I'm a weirdo. I love doing shadow work. I love to clear the negative emotions. And I love to be a detective and find out and sleuth out, what am I holding on to or what's missing here? And that's what I realized about this that I'm sharing here, is that I had to do my own detective work because I was brilliant at manifesting for a while and then it just kind of stopped. And then I pulled everything back and I checked into the energies, as I often do. I was like, okay, what's really going on here? Because I don't think it's resistance, because I've cleared like a lot of shit. And I thought it was okay. Is it ancestral legacy stuff? And I did a lot of clearing around that. I'm like, no, that's not what it is. It's the denseness of this reality playing tricks with us. So you play with it. The universe is playing with you. You got to play with it. You got to engage it, because it's all a giant play here anyway. Hi, Marianne. How long do you recommend doing these visualization practices? Well, the way I teach it, Tanya, so I have a program, my signature program, which is called Become the Creatrix. And I teach like a comprehensive way of breaking these steps down over 4 weeks. And then you continue it. And then the way I teach it is having an induction meditation. So it's a guided meditation that brings you into the energy where you can cast all this stuff out. And you can sit yourself down and be disciplined and really focus your energy so that it is not siphoned off by anything going on in your present reality. And then I teach how to like break that down into steps, very practical steps. So if you are disciplined at this, not only can you manifest whatever it is that you want to be, do, or have, but you manifest an entirely different reality for yourself. Because I want you to think about it this way. If you're manifesting a thing, and it doesn't matter what it is, if you don't have the thing yet, you haven't been broadcasting a frequency that is matched up with the thing, that is matched up with the vibration of the thing. So in order to match the vibration of the thing that you're calling in, you have to be a different person. Because what you're really saying is, I need to get into a frequency of a different way of being in order to match this thing, so that not only this comes in once, but things that match that frequency keep coming into my reality over and over and over again. So at that point, we're talking about recreating your reality and recreating your identity. This can be done in 8 to 10 weeks if you're disciplined with this. This is what I teach in my program. But sitting down, it's about, here's what you want to go for. If you're talking about a single session where you're sitting down and you're feeling into these energies, it is about feeling different. When you're ready to get up from doing this visualization exercise, when you're feeling all the feels, the ideal is to get up from this visualization practice and feel different than the person you did when you sat down. That's what you want to look for. You want to feel different. You want to feel expansive. You want to feel full of potential and possibility, excitement. You don't want to be feeling like the drag of energies from, the day in, day out energy of your very practiced everyday reality. You want to feel different than when you sat down and did this exercise, if that makes sense. And this is what I teach. This is what I share with the women that I work with. And it's very comprehensive and it's very stepped out, because it is a practice. It is a discipline. It's a skill. And if, like anything, if practiced enough, it is a skill that can not only be learned, but can be mastered. And when you are the master of your inner reality in such a way, the sky's the limit. Whatever you want to call in, whatever you want to be, do, and have. That's wonderful. Yes, okay, I'm glad. That makes perfect sense. So try this week, because we have, as I mentioned, a lot of culminating geomagnetic frequencies that are very powerful, very profound, very intense right now. And they are making the denseness of our everyday reality seem that much more heavy, okay? And that much harder, like it's like a wet woolen cloak, our identity right now, that's hard to shed. So whatever you're visualizing, whatever you're calling forth, whatever you're desiring and actively manifesting, the signal that you broadcast to call that in has to be that much bigger, that much broader than the denseness of the reality that you're feeling every single day. This takes practice. It's a skill. Don't give up on it. Don't give up on it. Because it's the ego self that's always going to tell you, and Tara can tell you this if she's still watching, that I always say in my program, is that the ego is going to be the one that's going to tell you, like, this is too hard. This is too hard. I don't want to do this. This sucks. Or I feel sick today. I don't want to do this. But this is something you need to be doing every day. You need to carve out and prioritize time in your day. I don't care if it's 10 minutes or 40 minutes. The time I take to do this every single day is every nuance in between 10 minutes or 40 minutes. Some days I'll do it for half hour. Some days I'll do it for 15 minutes. But in order to bring this skill to mastery, of mastering your inner reality, it's an everyday practice. It has to be. Otherwise, the old you will always win out, okay? But when you sit yourself down and you do this, you become the master of a different outer reality, because your inner reality is that much more changed. It is transformed. So universal law dictates if you completely change your inner reality, the whole frequency that you're broadcasting, universal law dictates that the outer reality must change. It must project that. It must mirror that. It has to. So think about it that way. So it takes dedication. It takes practice. Because the you that you've been is very well practiced. It's memorized. You have to memorize a new you. This takes some work. This takes some skill, some dedication, commitment. And the ego you is always going to be the one that says, I'm too tired, or I'm too sick today, or you'll never change because you're just like your mother, or you'll numb out and know that you should be doing, I hate using the word should, but you know that you could be doing this and you have the time to do it, but you're like, I'm going to binge watch 5 Killing Eve shows, or whatever. I want to watch all of the last 3 seasons of Game of Thrones, whatever. But you guys know what I'm saying. It's never going to be that infinite higher intelligence within you that you connect with when you do this work, by the way. It's never going to be that voice within you. It's always going to be the ego. Because anytime the ego gets unseated from its place of power, it's going to kick and scream and throw tantrums and say all those things. That's the voice, the inner critic, the inner judge, the inner shit talker that's going to say all those things. It's never the divine field of intelligence that's within you, within me, and everyone we know. So have fun with this week, with these energies, and have a sense of play about it. Don't furrow your brow and scowl and make it like a school project that you're getting graded on. Like, have some fun with it. Play. Have a sense of wonder. Adopt a childlike innocence about doing this kind of work, and just a natural curiosity, like, well, what would happen if? And that's a great attitude to have, to detach yourself from the outcome of whatever it is you're calling forth. If you just state out loud to the universe or the higher intelligence within you, what if this showed up and it looked like that and it showed up on this day? And wouldn't that be interesting? That's a better way to start your manifesting process, to have a kind of sense of wonder about it. So I hope this has been helpful for you, and I hope that you'll play with this week. I'm definitely going to play with this week. I have things that I would like to manifest, things I would like to see, and it's summery here and it feels great. So all the energies are lending themselves to such a profound feeling of possibility and potential. So have fun with this. Mwah. Thanks for being here, and thanks for joining me live. Bye-bye.